This is the AI News Flash for August 19th, midnight UTC. First up, Cursor, the leading AI code editor company, has launched its own code hosting service called Origin, taking direct aim at Microsoft-owned GitHub. Origin is a cloud-based, Git-backed repository host accessible from a new tab in the Cursor desktop client and from a dedicated command line tool. It supports two-way sync with GitHub so teams can copy existing projects over in a few clicks, and upstream updates flow through automatically. The defining feature is that it is built for AI agents. Alongside agents, running on your own machine, Cloud Sandbox agents can carry out long-horizon coding tasks even while your workstation is offline. Outside tool integrations start with Vercel, Depot, and BuildKite. Origin rolled out on Monday, August 17th as an early beta for paid Cursor plans. The timing was pointed. The very next day, GitHub suffered a worldwide outage lasting more than 6 hours with an error rate around 20%, and by LedDev's count, GitHub has had 257 outages over the past year. GitHub remains the world's largest source code host with 180 million developers as of October 2025. Origin is Cursor's first major product since SpaceX completed its $60 billion acquisition of the company, and it pushes the AI coding fight beyond the editor and into where the code itself lives. Second, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has issued an internal memo barring its employees from wearing Meta smart glasses while on duty. The memo states plainly that employees are not permitted to wear Meta glasses while they work, and it covers Meta's smart glasses and similar devices. The restriction applies to all ICE employees, not only field agents. The stated rationale is that the use of Meta glasses or similar devices could unintentionally capture, record, or transmit sensitive information, potentially compromising privacy and legal protections. The move follows months of ICE and Customs and Border Protection agents being spotted wearing the glasses. 404 Media documented a CBP agent recording with them despite existing policy, and The Independent found similar sightings in at least 6 states. Concerns were sharpened by an unreleased facial recognition feature in Meta's app and by the fact that the privacy LED can be defeated with cheap materials. At the same time, ICE budget documents show the agency wants to develop its own customized smart glasses with biometric identification for officers by next year. A Homeland Security spokesperson framed the memo as clarifying long-standing restrictions on personally owned body-worn cameras, which points to off-the-shelf AI glasses being pushed out in favor of purpose-built surveillance hardware. Third, Google has teamed up with the UK government and the British aviation industry on a trial called Operation Blue Skies, using AI to avoid forming climate-warming contrails. The partners include UK air traffic control provider NATS, the Met Office, contrails.org, Imperial College London, and the University of Cambridge. The AI identifies contrail-sensitive regions of the atmosphere from satellite imagery and historical flight data, cross-references that with weather forecasts to predict where contrails will form, and passes those forecasts to NATS controllers so flights can be rerouted around them. The trial runs in Shanwick airspace over the eastern North Atlantic, spanning 30 months with 2 4-month operational periods. Around 10,000 flights are in scope, of which 1 to 5% are expected to be redirected. Contrails account for roughly a third of the aviation industry's total climate impact, and the Shanwick region alone is responsible for about 5% of all global contrail warming. The trial cost £5 million, with $2.65 million from the Department for Transport and $1.4 million contributed pro bono by Google's UK arm. Google technical lead Paul Hodgson said, "The aim is to demonstrate that it is operationally practical to solve the challenge of contrail warming." Finally, backlash against AI data centers has now reached mainstream brand advertising. Beverage brand Liquid Death and Garage Beer have launched a joint campaign starring former NFL player Jason Kelce. Styled as a parody public service announcement. The spot features Kelce, who co-owns Garage Beer, relieving himself into a jar alongside Liquid Death's Murder Man mascot, and a crowd of characters singing about peeing on computers together to save humanity. The message is about water. The campaign cites data centers consuming up to 5 million gallons a day to cool their servers, sells a product called the Coolant Collector, and urges consumers to send their pee to an AI data center of their choosing. It runs with paid support on both brand social channels and on connected TV. Opposition to data centers has moved from local hearings to something consumer brands will spend ad budget on, which makes the public headwind against AI infrastructure build-out hard to ignore. That's all for this AI News Flash.